What's up, everybody? It's the Digital World Podcast. I want you guys to look at the chart. What is this chart telling you? For those of you who have consistently been viewers of this channel, know that this chart is what we look at consistently in order to ascertain any moves that are happening in the bond market. As of now, this was last updated the 28th of August, so I believe this is a little higher, around 4.95. But we will wait until later this week to provide further um, details, right, on where it stands. But once I believe we have a clear break of this 5% level, I think all bets are off. And I think what that will indicate is more volatile events. I think as we get closer to that end game, we'll be able to tell, right, um, where this thing is going. And so I think it's a slow playing process, right? And like I've said multiple times before on this channel, that by the time people realize that this has gone in the opposite direction, it's already too late. The trend has shifted, and we're well within, um, this new trend change. Now, um, I believe people will get gaslit, and they're, all the powers that be will um, try to convince people that it's not this or it's not that. It'll make you try to make you believe that you're seeing something you're not, right? And it's the power of illusion, right? Of making it seem like it's something else, that you're living in some kind of fantasy world. But anyways, once I do anticipate that once we see this take off, I think mortgage rates are going to climb. I don't think we're ever going to see those cheap mortgage rates um, that are claimed by others, that, oh, once we see, rates come down, people will be able to afford housing. Well, no, I don't think so, folks. I don't think we're going back. If bond yields are any indication of where we are in the state of affairs, it indicates we're never going to go back to something this cheap. I think this is going to get increasingly worse, and people are going to see years worth of declining home prices. And I think when you look at the demographics, right, you look at, for example, who's the largest generation that currently makes up society. It's the boomer generation. And a lot of them are getting to the point where they're older, right? A lot of them will start um, dying in the next 10 to 15 years. And so a lot of those people, and they own a lot of these homes. Well, who's going to who's going to buy those homes? Well, I'll tell you, no one's going to buy that at the prices they're currently at. And so they will have to decline, and the prices of the homes will have to decline. And as we get more inventory into the housing market, you're going to see that that supply of homes is going to decrease the price of homes. And so we see here, we literally have the worst home buyer demand on record, according to NAR's pending sales index. Time for people to wake up and realize prices are the problem. So here what you can see is the home buyer demand. It's worse than it was during the great financial crisis, which is right here, right? This area. And so that's telling you all of what you need to know about where we stand right now with home buyer demand. So, I think we're somewhere here. I believe we're somewhere in this spot. And because right here, when you see it, it was like around 2007, 2008, people were realizing, oh, wow, something's actually wrong, right? And by 2009, something was definitely wrong. And so you saw home prices really decrease. So between 2009 and 2011 is when, it really went down. And I think you give it one more year, right? And things are really going to manifest themselves. Um, but yeah, we're in a very terrible home buyer demand situation. The other thing is, this is an interesting illustration of, the inflation of the 1970s and early and late 60s versus current inflation. And it seems to be aligning pretty similarly. And could it be that we're on the verge of seeing another wave of inflation? Just like we did in the late 70s and early 80s. Now, that's going to be something interesting to watch play out, right? And see what that looks like in the coming years. But I say we need to be on our game, right? To be able to address and understand and prepare for a scenario like that. But anyways, this will be our tell all, right? We need to see if this indeed is going to cross over into above, turn that 5% into a support and keep climbing, right? And when that happens, I think that will be a very, very telling situation of what we're in. So anyways, let me know what you guys are seeing in your area. What does the housing market look like? Comment below. This is the Digital World Podcast, and I'll see you in the next episode. Have a good one, everyone.